You're listening to the Light Novel Podcast. Visit us online at lightnovelpodcast.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Light Novel Podcast. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the light novel-based anime that are going to be coming out in spring of 2021. We'll probably be making this a regular feature every couple of months to keep up with the latest anime seasons. I'm Justus R. Stone, making my return after a touch of a hiatus. Also with us tonight, we have a new member of the Light Novel Podcast. Everybody give a warm welcome to Full Metal.
Glad to be here.
I'll find CL and tell her to get like a big applause track and add it in there. I also have Jean-Luc.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
And I have Mirage.
Good morning.
Just have sort of a small cast tonight, which honestly I thought it would be everybody, but it looks like people are busy, so there you go. So basically we're just gonna kind of cover the stuff that is coming out light novel wise. But first we'll just do there's just major two quick announcements. Cross Infinite World just dropped 2 licensing announcements since the last recording that we'll just touch on really quickly. The first one that they have licensed is Romance of the Imperial Capital Kotogami, a tale of living alongside spirits. This is a one-shot. It was released in Japan on March 24th, 2020 by Micro Magazine under their Kotonoha label. A retro-modern romantic fantasy set in the age of the Kotogami. After a fearsome beast burns down her company lodgings, Akari finds herself homeless and out of a job. Luckily, the handsome yokai who rescued her from the beast offers her a job as a live-in custodian at a manor in the city. Needing a safe place to sleep, Akari accepts Tomohito's offer, but soon finds that living in a house full of eccentric Kotogami spirits isn't exactly the sweet deal she was hoping for. With no alternative, Akari resigns herself to cohabitating with her idiosyncratic new roommates. And so begins the heartwarming tale of the trials, new friendships, and blossoming romance of a hard-working young woman living in an age where the Kotogami spirits walk among humans. This one they've got set for a May 31st release. So, yeah. I have to say, I'm kind of hoping we get more of these type of like spirits in our world kind of. I've said it before, I like the whole urban paranormal type thing, and I hope we get more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Cross Infinite Worlds has a few of those titles. I haven't read it myself, but the Werewolf Count seems to be something like this.
Yeah, and funny enough, I thought that was a one-shot, but just today on their Twitter, they said it's getting a second volume. So I was kind of surprised by that one, but but yeah, it's pretty cool. Lots of people seem pretty happy about that. I've heard lots of people who've said it's a pretty good one. So
yeah, sometimes stuff that is supposed to be a one-shot is so successful that it gets a follow-up.
Yeah,
like the Zombie Apocalypse also did get one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
J.K. Alu also had a sequel because it was popular.
Right, yeah. So, and then the other one that they announced, and honestly, this one sounds a little different for Cross Infinite World. Apocalypse Bringer Minogra. World Conquest starts with the civilization of Ruin. This one, it began publication in Japan on November 30th of 2019. There's currently 3 volumes available. Again, this is a micro magazine, but released under their GC Novels banner. I reincarnated as the evil god of my favorite civilization. Takuto Ira succumbed to illness at a young age and ended up reincarnating in a world that resembles the fantasy turn-based strategy game, Eternal Nations. Not only did he reincarnate into his favorite game, but as the god who commands the evil civilization Minogra. With Minogra's beautiful hero unit, Sludge Witch Atto by his side, not even legendarily difficult race traits will stand in the way of restarting their civilization. Lord Takoto, won't you start over with me? Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate. A tactical fantasy world is waiting for heroes like you. And
Yeah, so the last one like that was Her Majesty's Swarm,
yes,
and
yeah.
that one was not very good. So I don't really have high hopes for this one. I'll probably wait until someone can tell me if it's any good or not.
Well, I can at least tell you a bit, like I did check it out a bit in a manga format. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't check it out that much, but still gave me a good idea. Like, seems like he's reincarnated in that game world, and or what seems similar to his game world, a little bit like Overlord, but he has this AI or NPC that will help him like develop his kingdom and faction and everything.
Huh.
But the thing is, like, they are the evil like faction, but in that world, like, everyone is scared of them. But like, even the NPC, like when she appears, are all evil and mighty. Like, it's all play. Like, it's all an attitude that she gives herself because, like, they are the evil faction. But even the player, like, the evil thing is only a difficulty setting in that game. But since, like, in that world, it represents evil stuff, like people are scared and like the resources are scarce and everything, so they have to deal with the animosity of like the people that are living there and everything.
So they're quote unquote evil, but it's really just because that's the role that they fill in the game. But it's not
Yeah.
like the people themselves are terrible, monstrous, evil, horrible people. Is that
Yeah.
kind of okay? They've just got a bad reputation. Is that?
Yeah, something along those lines. Like,
Okay.
it's as if in Overlord, like all of the NPC, like Shaltier and everything,
Yeah.
it's as if inside the dungeon they would be like super, like, well, like they are in the Isekai Quartet. Like, figure that they are like that inside the dungeon, but as soon as they step outside, they just, oh, I'm all powerful, evil, and mighty, and I'm gonna kill everyone. Like, it's
So is it also is it bloody and brutal and gory like Her Majesty's Swarm, or is it more making fun of itself?
I didn't get super far into the story, but from what I've seen, like they kind of like, not rescue, but they integrate like runaway dark elves that run away from a neighbor country, and like they
that
make
much
them
that much is the same as in Her Majesty's Swarms. They also integrate elves, but mostly after their village has been slaughtered, and then they integrate him by turning them into bugs or something like that.
No, well, they, like, if I remember correctly, like they harvest like strange trees that grows flesh thing that they can eat. Like it's like,
well, you know what? It's not giant bugs. That's good enough for me.
But like, picture like I'm sure you played before, like StarCraft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, picture like playing the Zerg, but you yourself, you're not like evil or disgusting. It's just like the faction you're playing that is.
So you're Kerrigan.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like I'm not like I haven't read enough to say if it ever goes into the gory stuff, but for what I've seen, it's only like a template. Like it's only like visually because they are that faction.
Okay.
I don't think it translates to their action and eventually that they will slaughter like everyone else. Might be, but might not be. We'll have to see. But so far, I think it's interesting. But like I said, I'll need to get in more than what I've seen so far.
All right. Well, that comes out June 30th, an ebook. And with both of these, Cross Infinite World has said that already that there will be print editions made. They will probably come out about a month or so after the ebook edition. So if you're into wanting to check these ones out on print, you have that opportunity. I don't know. I have a hard time thinking that Cross Infinite World is going to license something that's really disgustingly gory. But who knows? Maybe they're changing their
maybe if there's a
jam.
manga available online, I'll check that out.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, well, there is. So
There
you can go check it out.
and just test it out, see what you think. All right, cool.
Hmm?
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to worry about news-wise. So we'll get into the actual anime that's happening. So all the ones that we're going to be talking about are coming out early April. We're going to start off with just some ones that are either sort of spin-offs or continuations of series that have previously been out, and then we'll get into some other stuff, licensed, not licensed, all that stuff. First off, we're getting another That Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime series, but this time it's the Slime Diaries, which apparently is a manga spin-off of the series. It's coming out April 6th. Crunchyroll will be streaming it, which no big surprise. It says the description of the manga is, Dear Diary, I got reincarnated as a slime. Even in another world, lives aren't always on the line. There's plenty of work to be done, from feeding the community and foraging the items the community needs, as well as plenty of play and hijinks throughout. Join Rimuru and friends as they kick back and enjoy their daily lives.
Yes, the wholesome spin-off of the season.
There you go, right? It's like, let's just turn slime into a slow life, slice of life series, right?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it is, even in the novel version.
Yeah,
Sure.
it almost is a slow life.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. The novels themselves are mostly slow-paced as heck. But hey, considering what happened in the latest season of Slime, people are going to need a wholesome thing before the second part of season 2 comes in July.
There you go. This is the palate cleanser before the
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, well, I always thought of Slime as being a slow life series because like there isn't a lot of hurdle, like there's barely any challenge, like even in the season 2 anime, like there was some problem, but in the end, like there's no consequence whatsoever. Like every problem is solved in the click of a finger. Like it's like it feels slow life-ish. So I think that maybe this one will be good. So
well, I kind of dug the whole OVA thing they did with him being a teacher.
yeah.
So I mean, I think I'd be kind of up for the just daily slow life stuff. I think as long as people, as long as they make it clear that it is a series that obviously is much more focused on comedy and just kind of like, I doubt it'll have like much of an arc over the series. So I like, as long as people know what they're getting into.
Well, at first I thought it was the other spin-off. Like there's another manga that features like a bunny girl that is a touristic guide to their city.
Oh,
So I thought it was going to be this one, but instead it's the 4-panel comedy
yeah,
one.
yeah.
But who knows?
But
Like,
I'm not sure if it's really necessary, because after the next story arc that will come out in summer, there is the story arc after that is practically all slow life.
Well,
So
maybe they're thinking they won't do that one though, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't know what their plan is. I mean, some of these series they milk like crazy for every last little drop they can get, and then others they're just kind of like, well, the later arcs blow, so let's just milk it for the good stuff right now, and that'll be the end of it. Like, I don't know. Anyway, as far as continuing, I guess I didn't realize that I'm a Spider, so what was already getting 2 cores, but I guess that's the case, right? Like it's just continuing.
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just having a week break for the time being until April 6th.
Yeah.
For Easter.
Okay. All right.
No,
Now,
April
no-
6th is Easter. So
it's April 9.
oh, is it not? Well, I don't know. Well, I
yeah,
mean, okay.
Friday is for us here in Germany. Friday is a holiday before Easter.
Okay, so maybe it'll be pushed. Okay.
Yeah, it's the 9th.
Okay.
It's probably
6th
not a
is-
holiday in Japan, because Japan doesn't do
No.
Easter.
Fair enough.
but the 6th is a Tuesday, and it airs like on Friday for me, so
Okay.
it'll be the
Yeah.
9 and not the 6th.
All right. So, well, okay. Well, the first basic full week of April, it should be out. Okay. Now, I liked the first 2 light novels. Is the series disgusting?
That depends.
Really?
Well, I'd say it's gruesome, but not disgusting.
Okay.
Like it's
All right.
I mean, by the time you got to for like the first 2 or so volumes, you kind of have an idea what Spider is like.
Yeah.
But mostly, if you weren't a fan of spiders to begin with, then this series isn't for you.
So it never gets into the details of there are a lot of bad things happening, but it doesn't go into the gory details as other series do.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the book and I could read the book, but sometimes I know when the anime was coming out, I was thinking to myself, do I really want to watch her like eating and ripping apart? No, probably not. So I've skipped it anyway.
well, it's done in a kind of comedic manner.
Okay, well, I'll see. Maybe I'll just take the time to read more books. And then the other returning series that we're getting another season of is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. This is they're calling it Omega, which
Oh boy.
which is coming out April 9th on Crunchyroll. Heavily censored, I'm sure.
Yep, most likely. If you think the scene from Volume 3 was something, you have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if this is why they're calling it Omega, because it's definitely not the end of the series, because I'm not sure,
No.
but I think they are way beyond Volume 6 by now.
Oh yeah,
that's definitely more than they could cover in one more season.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah,
they're like 13 volumes in right now.
Yeah. It's. I was gonna say, I know it's double digits in Japan, so
yeah. So
well, it is here now too. I think J Novel's caught up.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think not quite, but I stopped after Volume 3.
that was your limit, huh?
Yeah.
I just haven't read
that was
13
actually
yet.
beyond my limit.
Oh really?
But,
okay, so
By this point, Demon Lord's just a whole guilty pleasure thing.
oh man.
Yeah.
There are series that I consider a guilty pleasure. Demon Lord is not a pleasure to read. Not even a guilty one.
What
I didn't read and I didn't watch it, so
well, let me just say, Jean-Luc, if you need to, if you're a demon lord and you need to inject mana in a pretty young girl, I'll leave that up to you to decide. And you'd probably be right. Anyway, jeez, I just remember when when J Novel first licensed that, and the translator was doing volume 3, and he was like, "What the fuck is going on?" His responses on Twitter were great.
Yeah.
I think even Sam was kind of like, "Yeah, we didn't read the volume 3 when we licensed it, so." but then I read but then Sean Gaffney's been reviewing all of the Altina, which is the Sword Princess, which is the same author, but apparently I guess is like a complete 180 away from Demon Lord. So it sounds like Demon Lord is their cut loose and get naughty series, and then they, write Altina to actually show they can write.
That's a good way to accurately summarize Altina, really.
Okay, well,
considering that was the author's first work, and then Demon Lord was like his second.
So
yeah, Altina is a lot older from when it started. I think it's on hiatus right now because Demon Lord is so successful.
Yeah.
But I hope they'll continue it. I think the English translation should almost be caught up.
Yeah, it's probably close. Yeah. So
eventually, there's like 14 volumes of Altina along with some side story thing, so that'll be a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's funny. Oh,
1-2 years. That's then they're caught up.
Well, there you go.
Jane Novel Club is pretty fast with their translations.
That is true. I think they're caught up for most of their series that they've had for a while now. That's why they have to keep pumping out the new ones so they have new content.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's it for continuing series. So yeah, we'll just get into some new stuff. We'll talk about a couple first that are coming out that we do not have licensed for English release. There's actually quite a number coming that we do have licensed.
Yeah.
First up is Super Cub. It's coming out April 7th, but as far as we know, I don't know that anybody's announced it, that they're streaming it.
I've never even heard of this title.
Hey, I'm with you. I didn't know it was a light novel until I was on my anime list and it said light novel as the basis for it. So, second-year high school student Koguma doesn't lead a very interesting life. She has no parents and no friends, nor hobbies to keep her daily life busy. One day, she acquires a second-hand Honda Super Cub motorcycle and rides it to school. As time goes by, not only does Koguma have a new adventurous life, but she also forges precious friendships thanks to her precious little motorcycle. Man, this thing was totally written as like an ad for Honda.
Well, like I wouldn't complain. Like if you check the movie, Michael Bay movie for Transformer, it's all I think it's Ford.
Okay, fair. Okay, fair. And honestly, I mean, I've been watching oh my god, I can't even think about it. The Slow Life Camping series.
Yuru Camp.
Yes, Yuru Camp. Thank you. Man, it's late and my brain is not working. And I mean the whole moped thing, it's like a big thing, man. I'm like, I could probably legitimately see something like this.
Yeah, I don't expect this series to play out like a Michael Bay movie.
No.
No.
When I read it, I had more vibes like Amanchu or something like that.
No way, man. That's going to be the mid-season twist. She whips out a machete and machine guns and goes to town.
Explosion everywhere. But no, the trailer was beautiful. I'm not sure if I'll watch it. If it were a movie Your Name or something like that, I would probably watch it just for the visual and the representation of Japan in the design and everything. But for a 12 episode series or maybe more, I'm not sure. maybe.
Yeah. It is a series I would watch in a slow season.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'm going to watch it in this one because there's quite a few series I'm interested in watching. Probably depends on what other series come out on the same day. So how much time I have on that day that it comes out. Like this season, Wednesday was wild with I think 4 or 5 series that I was following.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up is going to be the series that will probably be super controversial without people even watching it, just because of the title. Higehiro. After being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway.
Oh boy.
I think it wasn't initially. It was just I shaved my beard, then picked up a teenager or something. Was like how
Yeah, I
initially
remember
was.
that.
That's the
Yeah.
literal translation. Sorry.
They toned down the title so that it will pass a bit more.
Right? Yeah. It's going to be on Crunchyroll as of April 5th. Office
Oh
worker.
yeah, One Piece Books licensed a manga for this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. They did just license the manga for this. That's absolutely right. Yeah. Office worker Yoshida has been crushing on his coworker Airi Goto for 5 years. Despite finally scoring a date with her, his confession is promptly rejected. Drunk and disappointed, he stumbles home only to find a high school girl sitting on the side of the road. The girl, needing a place to stay the night, attempts to seduce Yoshida. Despite rejecting her advances, he nevertheless invites her into his apartment. The next morning, the girl, introducing herself as Sayu Ogiwara, reveals that she has run away from Hokkaido all the way to Tokyo. During her 6-month spree, she continually traded sexual favors for a roof over her head. Yoshida, however, remains unswayed by her seduction. Instead, he has her do a different kind of work, one that entails washing dishes and doing laundry. And so, a touching relationship between a heartbroken adult and a runaway high school girl begins.
Yeah, that's a touching drama from what I've read so far. Like it's like I won't make any promises that it doesn't go down a rabbit hole, but so far so good. Like so far it's really a drama about like two broken people that will eventually maybe heal up their like mental like issue wounds or whatever, and
so
move
the
on,
Japanese title is actually worse than the English translation because in that one there's no past tense. So if you just literally translate the title, then it sounds like this could be a regular thing this guy is doing.
I shaved and picked up a girl?
I shave and then I pick up high school girls.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool for the main dude to shave, I guess, but...
Yeah. I mean, you're right, though. If you watch the trailer, it looks like the trailer is much more aimed at, like, him wanting to help her lead a normal life. It's not like him...
basically what the series is kind of like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those titles that has it's very misleading to what actually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but,
it'll be interesting.
So far it's a really good drama. Like the girl has a lot of like secret and like you don't know yet why she ran away, but like there's stuff that happened. Like you don't run away from Hokkaido to Tokyo just on a whim. Like
what are you talking about?
It still makes you wonder why someone will choose such a misleading title for his novel, because you will attract the wrong kind of people.
Yeah, but
I mean, the term bait and switch kind of exists for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but normally you would want to would want those people who are going to like the novel to pick it up, and people who are going to like a novel like that will not pick up a title like that, and those who pick up a title like that probably won't like the novel.
Well,
seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, I think again, it is a title that is exactly meant to make people at least pick it up and see what the hell is that? I mean, when we talk about
Yeah.
we talk about light novel titles being blatantly and brutally obvious about describing what the book is about, I don't know. I mean, even if it's kind of questionable, at least this title it makes you go, what? What the hell is going? What? Like the first time
That's the thing that makes you curious about it.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So I think that's kind of the reason that title is the way it is. So we'll see.
It's a bit the same thing with J.K. Allo is a sex worker in another world. Like the title is very trashy, but like it tells it kind of tells a serious story. Like it's not just like fan service all the way.
Well, I mean, but the title is also brutally obvious and honest with what the book is too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I still can't believe that the manga got licensed. That just kind of blows my mind, but whatever.
I'm just surprised that One Piece books is still a thing.
Oh, that's a whole other discussion, but
because I thought of them as mostly the Shield hero guys.
Well, that's really, isn't that all they've mostly
I mean,
done?
they don't do anything else but Shield hero.
Yeah, it seems that way. Oh my god. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole. Like I said, that's a whole other episode. The next one is Full Dive. This ultimate next-gen full dive RPG is even shittier than real life. I really hope they keep the title just like that.
That's a great title.
Yeah, it's a great title. April 7th on Funimation. In an unexpected turn of events, dull high school student Hiro Yuki obtains the full dive role-playing game Kiwame Quest. Created by the best of technology, the game claims to take reality to its extremes, from stunning graphics, NPCs' behavior, to the scent of vegetation, and even the sensation of wind brushing against the skin. Everything was the result of an ultimate workmanship. Except the game is a little too realistic and messy to be cleared. Kiwame Quest features over 10 quadrillion flags and reflects the player's real-life physical abilities in the game. Being hit in the game also hurts in real life, and slash wounds take days to heal. The only reward here is the sense of accomplishment. Conquer the most stressful game in history that can't be played casually.
Oh man, yeah. This is hey, you guys want a VR MMO that's more realistic? Well, here you go.
Right? Well, the trailer looks like I mean, it's pure comedy, obviously. The trailer looks hilarious.
I think the novels for this was written by the guy who did Cautious Hero.
Oh, really? Oh, I think you're right.
That would make sense.
But
seriously, like, you want to suffer in life? Stop playing Dark Souls. Play this game.
Yeah, right?
I found the name of the protagonist a bit funny because Yuki means hero, and hero is obviously a pun on the English word hero.
You would think so. Well, I mean, I'm thinking it is, but yeah, I just, what the hell? I mean, yeah, I just, it does look like it's gonna be pretty funny, and I really hope that they go.
One thing I was wondering is, I looked it up on Japanese Amazon, and it seems there's only one novel out so far that came out in August 2020. So I'm not quite sure if how there's going to be enough material for a whole anime season.
You're right. I'm just looking at Anime Planet right now. It says there's only one volume.
Fillers.
That's gonna be interesting.
I mean, the only anime I know that managed to pull off the one novel for one cour thing was Roka no Yusha.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure if this was maybe if it's a comedy series, they put in a lot of filler and anime only side stories or something like that.
Well, I really don't know. I mean, it looks like even just looking at the trailer, it looks like there's a lot of stuff going on in that game, though. I mean, there's like a cast of what, 5 characters right off the bat. One of them's like
Yeah.
a childhood friend who looks like she's a yandere. Another one's a girl who looks like she's like into S&M. Like, I don't know, man. It just
Ugh. Well, hey, as long as they're able to fit it all in one core, it shouldn't be too impossible.
well, we'll see. I mean, I guess it depends on how the book was written too, right? Like if it was written
Yeah.
like one of those books where each chapter is just kind of like a day in the game or something, then I could see that being done as a single core, but who knows? But it is kind of weird that there's only one book. Like we've always
Well, at the end of the trailer, there's the cover for book 2. So I'm not sure if it's
Ooh,
coming
cool.
out or.
maybe, you know what? Maybe it's one of those things where the second book was already coming out. He's probably written it as a web novel, and maybe they're adapting material from the web novel before.
Yeah, that's also possible.
Probably.
Yes.
Before that could be. It could be.
Oh.
Who knows? I mean,
Also, like Devil is a Part-Timer did do a single core for 2 novels.
that's
so-
true.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
I
with
believe
the
Grimgar
side
did the same
stories from
thing.
later
Yeah,
novels.
Grimgar did
so
the same thing.
It was
Yeah.
more like 2.5 novels.
Yeah, but yeah, Grimgar did that same thing. Roka, or is it Roka or Roku?
Yeah, Roka
They only
did
did-
it with
Yusha,
one book.
Yeah, they only did one book. So I mean, it's doable. It's doable, but I mean, I don't know how
It's possible they
doable.
could do the Cautious Hero thing. That also adapted the first 2 novels in one core.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. So it's doable. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So next up, Osamake, Romcom where the childhood friend won't lose. This one coming out April 14th on Crunchyroll. My childhood friend Shida Kuroha seems to have feelings for me. She lives next door and is small and cute. With an outgoing character, she's the caring Onisan type, this being one of her greatest strengths. But I already have my first love, the beautiful idol of our school and the award-winning author, Kachi Shirokusa. Thinking about it rationally, I should have no chances with her. But while walking home from school, she only talks to me, with a smile even. I might actually have a chance, don't you think? Or so I thought. But then I heard that Shirokusa already has a boyfriend, and my life took a turn for the worse. I want to die. Why is it not me? Even though she was my first love, as I was drowning in despair and depression, Kuraha whispered, "If it's that tough for you, then how about we get revenge? The best revenge ever, that is." So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, been wacky hijinks ensue.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just from the title and the synopsis, like I wouldn't have cared much, but seeing the trailer, man, that thing looks funny as hell.
Well, I
Oh
mean,
man.
I don't know,
One
like
thing that caught my eye instantly is the studio who mostly did this is Doga Kobo, and they're mostly used to doing things like manga adaptations or the one time they did a novel adaptation with Ikebukuro Westgate Park, but now they're doing a light novel adaptation.
Huh.
Finally. Took
yeah.
them
Yeah, Doga
years.
Kobo has had some interesting titles. This one doesn't interest me a lot because I've pretty much burned out on rom-coms like this.
Well, I would have said the same thing, but then again, I saw the trailer and okay, I'm in.
Well,
Yeah.
it could go either way, right? Like it could be one of those really good rom-coms, or it could be one of those ones that just sort of checks all the boxes, you know what I mean? Like,
It keeps getting new volumes, and its 7th volume comes out like next month.
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah. No,
it's selling.
it's popular. No, there's no doubt about it. It's popular. But yeah, I mean, who knows? It always kills me though when it's like, hey, my childhood friend is like, she's next door, she's small, she's cute, she's awesome. I'm not into her. I'm like, what?
I guess he just saw her I guess he just sees her as just friends.
Yep, she's totally friend zoned her. Absolutely.
Yeah, the last one from Doga Kobo that I really liked was Tada Never Falls in Love. That one was more romance than rom-com.
All right. Well, now we start into titles that we actually have available in English. So either you've read them
Great.
or you could read them. First up, talking of slow life fantasy isekais, I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level.
Oh boy.
This one's coming
And
out.
I was very shocked when I prepared for this recording to see that the Japanese release is at volume 16 right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy.
Suddenly dying from overwork, salary woman Asa Aizawa finds herself before an angel who allows her to reincarnate into a new world as an immortal witch, where she spends her days killing slimes for money on an otherwise eternal vacation. But even the minimal experience points from slimes will add up after hundreds of years, and Asa discovers that she accidentally reached the maximum level. Fearing that her strong abilities will attract work and force her back to a life of overexertion, she decides to hide her strength in order to preserve her peaceful lifestyle. Despite her efforts, tales of the max-level Witch of the Plateau spread across the land, and a proud dragon named Rika shows up looking to test their strength against her. Even though Azusa defeats and befriends Rika, problems arise as both friends and foes come looking for the secluded witch.
If Yuri Camp Season 2 is going to make you sad that it's ending, rest assured you have your healing anime for this next coming season. That's Killing Slimes.
I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah, we've talked about it before on the podcast. I have mixed feeling about the novel, but
to be fair, I can get it.
Yeah, I read the first 4 volumes. I enjoyed the first 2, but then it tapered off and was just the same and the same and the same all over again. Volume 3 was okay, but volume 4 I thought it's just the same as in volume 3, and it was just getting too long for me, and thinking that there are 4 times as many volumes out in Japan, I'm not sure I don't know how anyone has the patience to read that much of the same.
It's more
all
like
over.
when you need it's like one of those series where you've read a lot of dark or / gruesome things, like, I don't know, Torture Princess, for example, and you need something to calm your mind or something. That's kind of when you read Killing Slimes.
Yeah, I agree. I
It's not one of
described
those
it
series you should. It's not one of those series you should really binge. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I have plenty of series that are palate cleansers like that, like Abel Average. That is always fun to read, and even after 12, 13 volumes right now, it's still not as repetitive as this one. Still new stuff happening. Plot progression is there, even if it's not that much. But here,
I don't think the plot is the main focus of Killing Slimes per se. It's more like
definitely not.
You like these
that's the
characters.
problem.
You just get along with the scenarios they go through.
Yeah.
Even if some of them do feel like, man, I feel like it's deja vu.
Yeah, I think that's it. I liked one chapter on 2. There's half of the chapter I really liked from the first volume, and half I didn't like. So it's kind of like I said, I have mixed feelings. So might just watch the anime for the fun of it, especially since there seems to be a lot of at least in the trailer seems to be some SD design for comedic entertainment.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely one of those.
I think the main
ones.
difference between the two, Abel Average and Killing Slimes, might be that if you have a plot in Abel Average, it at least covers most of a volume. But here you have in one volume 4 or 5 short plots, and so the repetitive feeling
It's
stacks.
possible that Killing Slimes was based on a web novel or something, so that could be it.
I think so.
Yeah, it might make it very suited for an anime because you can make one episode for each plot arc.
This one's probably perfect for like 2 books for 1 core. Just do an episode a chapter kind of thing. Yep, no, it would totally work.
Or maybe even 4 books for 1 core because you can.
You can skip around some of it.
I got to see the MC go through one of the weirdest tropes I've been experiencing in light novels. For some reason, the main characters turn into a kid for whatever reason.
Turn into what?
A child. For some weird magic hijink. For some reason, some magic happens and, well, the MC's a kid. Archdemon Dilemma, for some reason, did this too, twice.
Well, like last week, I stumbled upon a manga, probably in like an adaptation of a light novel that, something I never saw, I've never seen before. Like, main character was I think a doctor, maybe a pharmaceutical worker, but like he gets reincarnated into a virus. and his goal is to cause a pandemic. Like, I was seriously.
Well, props for going different. I'll give them props for that.
I like how the pandemic has just said, you know what? I just want to make a series with a pandemic involved.
Right? Seriously.
One more thing about Killing Slimes. I had never heard of the studio before, and I looked it up. And they only have 2 series so far. I have never seen either of them. The one was Babylon last year.
I've heard Babylon was something, but many people didn't like how it ended.
Yeah, I had known nothing about that series. It's just I saw that something like that was airing, but and the other one was Fully Cooley Alternative in 2018. So the remake of Fully Cooley.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty new studio.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna probably check out at least the first couple episodes, see how it goes.
Yeah. I'll just see how this works as an anime, really. Maybe it'll work better.
Could. Thing
is,
I could see it being one of those ones.
I don't like to judge by a studio because it's not indicative of anything. It's by the people that makes each series. And I'm not knowledgeable enough to talk about that, but even bigger studio like GC Staff have multiple teams and multiple people that can quit their job, come back.
But it's if you don't know all the people on the staff personally by name, then it's a good indication. So it is a fact that some studios deliver good work consistently and others don't.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. All right, so next up, we've got The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent. This is coming out April 6th. It's going to be streaming on Funimation. This one's licensed by 7 Seas. Say, a 20-year-old office worker is whisked away to a whole new world. Unfortunately for Say, the ritual that summoned her, meant to produce a saint who would banish the dark magic, brought 2 people over instead of 1. And everyone prefers the second girl over Say. But this is just fine by Say, who leaves the royal palace to set up shop making potions and cosmetics with her newfound magic. Business is booming, and this might not be such a bad life after all, as long as her supposed sainthood doesn't come back to haunt her. Now, I just gotta say right now, I mean, spoilers, I'm reviewing this book as one of my more recent reviews, and this description is garbage.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on that.
Oh my god. This description is like the most misleading piece of junk. So yes, she is summoned, and yes, there is another girl, it is only one person, who is the young teenage hormonal prince, who only has eyes for the other person, which is a hot young teenage girl, whereas Sei is,
Of
again,
course.
whereas Sei is an older office worker. She also doesn't set up shop making potions. She joins the Royal Kingdom's potion research laboratory to create potions.
Whoever made the summary of Funimation has a lot of things to work on.
Yeah, like, what is going, like, when I first read this, now this actual description, I read this before I read the book, and I thought it was going to be like potions. I shall survive using potions. I thought like literally she was making her own store and going to sell potions and stuff, but that is not even close to what's going
But
on.
this is the original description from the Seven Seas website.
Yeah, I know, and it's terrible.
Man, why do they cut the Seven Seas one?
I don't know, but it's terrible.
Ish.
But it really does not tell you much at all. Like, the trailer is a lot better to watch to give you an idea of what the story is like and what the tone of it is like. So,
Like I would, from the trailer only, I would definitely watch this over Killing Slime.
yeah, like, I mean, it's, you know what, it again is, now I've only read the first book, but even in the afterward, the author is like, I wrote this book so that it would heal hearts and bring a smile to people's faces and help their day be a little better.
Aw, that's so
Yeah,
touching.
well, yeah, so like, I mean, it really is, it is like a slow life type light novel where a lot of the novel is her finding friends, finding out about her powers, making potions, stuff like that. But it does have grittier moments where, yeah, you know, knights get grievously injured fighting these monsters that the saint is supposedly, once they're strong enough, supposed to help drive away from the kingdom. And there is stuff in the book that makes it feel a little less just wishy-washy. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, plus I did appreciate the fact that it was only the young teenage hormonal prince that chose the other girl, whereas everybody else fell all over themselves. Like, please don't be angry. Please don't leave. Like, we need you. Don't, you know, like.
Oh man, of course the prince chose.
Yeah.
It goes,
the
yeah.
young
About
girl.
the series being completely slow life, in the afterword of volume 2, the author almost apologizes for including a fight scene.
That's funny.
So I know this doesn't fit the tone of the series, but it was really necessary. So please.
That's great.
As long as the author knows what they're doing, then that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, nope, that's all good. All right, next up, if you liked Konosuba, you might want to check this one out. Combatants will be dispatched. Did you say or not?
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Konosuba itself, since the comedy's always like hit or miss. But I'll give this Combatants will be dispatched thing a shot because I thought the preview was actually kind of hilarious.
Like the premise is kind of funny, honestly. It's coming out April 4th. Yeah. Funimation's going to be streaming it. Always bring a gun to a sword fight. With world domination nearly in the grasp, the supreme leaders of the Kisaragi Corporation, an underground criminal group turned evil megacorp, have decided to try their hands at interstellar conquest. A quick dice roll nominates their chief operative, Combat Agent 6, to be the one to explore an alien planet. And the first thing he does when he gets there is change the sacred incantation for a holy ritual to the most embarrassing thing he can think of. But evil deeds are business as usual for Kisaragi operatives, so if Six wants a promotion and a raise, he'll have to work much harder than that. For starters, he'll have to do something about the other group of villains on the planet, who are calling themselves the Demon Lord's Army, or whatever. After all, this world doesn't need two evil organizations. Like,
yeah.
You know what?
That's so like something the Konosuba offer would make.
Yeah. I would rather say if you liked Demon Lord, then you should look at this one.
Which
Huh.
deep, like which? How not?
Yeah,
How not
which
to
demon
summon
Which
lord?
demon
demon lord? There's like a
Uh,
lot of them over here.
I mean, you know what though? The thing is, if you've read Konosuba and then you read this, you will see. Now, this was actually written before Konosuba. The author,
Huh.
yeah, I think the author has now continued it onwards, like coinciding with each other. But supposedly this was written first, and you will see like prototypes of stuff that was done in Konosuba in this book. Like certain characters, you'll be like, oh, look, you're like the Aqua / this character. You're the Megumin character. And but I will say, I think I laughed just as much in the first volume as I did in Konosuba. Um,
Huh.
but yeah, I mean, there's obviously, again, this is probably the series where the author is cutting loose a little bit. It's a little, I think it was a little looter. Well, Konosuba had its
So
moments, but
you read only volume 1?
yes.
Yes. I admit volume 1 wasn't quite as bad,
Okay.
but
It gets
starting
worse.
in volume 2 and going way overboard in volume 3, they are making a lot of sexual jokes, and there's volume 3 in this in particular features sexual molestation of minors, and it's
Oh.
all played for laughs.
Oh, okay.
Oh
And
boy.
no,
Oh dear.
definitely no.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
okay. All right. Well, we'll move on from that one.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're seeing go for the Combatants thing. Apparently, we're caught up with the Japanese release as of this month.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, I don't think there's a 6th volume yet.
6 volume in Japan, yes.
Okay. Then
Oh,
did it
there
just
is?
come
And
out?
English
Well,
has 5 out, but I'm not 5
I have
out
no
as
idea
of
when they'll
March.
release 6
Yeah.
because knowing Yempress's schedule, it's all over the place.
It'll be delayed anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They'll announce
Mhm.
it and then it'll get delayed for a week or 2 or 3 or 4 anyway. All right. On April 11th, the Pretty Boy Detective Club is coming out. I don't know that we have anybody's officially stepped up to say they're going to be streaming it. This is a Nishio Ishin series of the
And of course,
Monogatari.
like any Nishio Ishin, it's done by Studio Shaft. So
Yes, and
there you go.
yes. So if you watch the Monogatari series, then you have at least some idea of what to expect. Mayumi Dojima, a second-year student at the exclusive Yubiwa Academy Middle School, has lost something. A star she glimpsed just once 10 long years ago. But help is on the way in the form of the unofficial, secretive, and thoroughly mysterious Pretty Boy Detective Club. Rumored to solve problems within the school, most of which they themselves might as well have created, for reasons aesthetic rather than financial, these 5 gorgeous boys sweep Mayumi into their world of excitement, danger, and overwhelming beauty.
Well, the description doesn't feel wrong.
Yeah, the description is not that far off of what the actual book is like. Yeah. I actually just reviewed the second one today. It's I you know what? I like it. It's like the Hardy Boys on acid. It's like a mishmash of all of your favorite detective stuff, both most of the outlandish ones that you can think of. Yeah, I actually like Mayumi is the first person narrator, and I compared her to Watson, except she's way more sarcastic.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, Watson is not very sarcastic in the first place, so more sarcastic than Watson is
It's
not
not
hard
hard.
to-
Yeah, no, I know. She's
I
incredible,
think
but
it's probably more snarky.
yeah. Oh, snarky. Oh, yeah, snarky would be a good
Yeah.
word. Yes.
Yeah, this is one I think I have the first volume, but I didn't get to read it yet.
Again, you know what? It's
So-
going to be one of those ones I think that people are either going to love it or hate it. I kind of wonder how it might be one of those series, like I like the light novels, don't get me wrong, but it might be one of those series that is, especially with like Shaft doing it and stuff, and like seeing the trailer and stuff, I wonder if this one will work better as an anime. Like
Probably.
Well, I have one thing to say.
Uh-huh.
The pictures are pretty.
Yeah.
The thing is but I mean, like Nishio Ishin, there's only the cover art, and then they usually do one black and white interior, and that's it.
Yeah, the novel doesn't even have an illustrator credited.
So it's like there's really not much in the way of art in the books. Which, I mean, again, it doesn't necessarily need it, but it is kind of, that art is kind of a cool style. It would be neat if there was a little bit more, but yeah, I think the anime looks cool, and I think what I've seen in the previews, the tone of it and stuff, I think it's going to be a really well done adaptation. So it should be pretty cool. All right, and then the last one that we've got coming out, and this is arguably, I think, a big one that a lot of people are looking forward to.
The one where every single time a new trailer comes out, my Twitter feed is exploding.
Yep. On April 6th, it's going to be on Crunchyroll, we have 86. The Republic of San Magnolia. For a long time, this country has been besieged by its neighbor, the Giadian Empire, which created a series of unmanned drones called the Legion. After years of painstaking research, the Republic finally developed autonomous drones of their own, turning the one-sided struggle into a war without casualties. Or, at least, that's what the government claims. In truth, there is no such thing as a bloodless war. Beyond the fortified walls protecting the 85 Republic territories lies the non-existent 86th Sector. The young men and women of this forsaken land are branded the 86 and, stripped of their humanity, pilot the quote-unquote unmanned weapons into battle. Shin directs the actions of a detachment of young 86ers while on the battlefield. Lena is a handler who commands the detachment from the remote rear with the help of special communication. The farewell story of the severe and sad struggle of these two begins. Please focus on the severe and sad struggle part. Yeah.
This one's going to be adapted by A1, and
it's
that's
set to
a
be
bit
a
hard to
2-4.
judge.
Yeah, they recently announced it'll be a 2-4 or something like that.
Oh, did they? I didn't see that announcement. Oh, that's...
It's just like a rumor going around, but it's supposed to be what most people go, okay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The official there doesn't seem to be official. It's still at provisionally 12 episodes on the site I checked.
Yeah, I lay you odds it's just one of those ones where they're going to be like, hey, the second core is coming in, not next season, but the season after. It'll probably be like that. Like, I lay odds. I lay odds.
Probably, but I don't know. They usually just do the counts, like the episode counts around the time it starts airing.
Well, we'll see. I mean, this one, I don't know, man. Like, I loved the first book. I loved it so much I bought the next 3, and I haven't read them yet because I'm an idiot.
Oh man, totally can relate.
I was gonna say, like, I'm not going to watch it because the volume 1 is sitting on my desk, and for like maybe a year or so. And
Jean-Luc,
like,
you gotta at least read the first one, because the first one, like the first one reads like it could have been a one and done.
Yeah, I think it was originally written as standalone, but then it got popular, so the author just kept writing more.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I want to read it. It's just that it keeps like getting
pushed,
postponed. So
for me, that's a series that I never really was interested in for some reason.
Well, I personally have read 5 volumes right now, and honestly, it's probably my favorite light novel series out there.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. After 5.
I remember back in 2017 or something, when Rakun of all people started tweeting about it, it started catching my interest. Since I've always liked the whole war drama kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Guess things like Schindler's List and whatever just let me go, yeah, totally get this. So in a way, the series immediately grabbed me, but the only issue is that sometimes you just going, oh man, they're sitting on my shelf. When do I have time to read these?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's
uh,
it.
that's everyone's problem.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, seriously.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing that the one thing that I am interested to see what will happen with this series. A lot of people have a lot of misunderstandings about what the even the inspiration behind this series is. I had a few people that were sending me comments on YouTube when I reviewed it that they were like, "Oh, this is like SJW anti-American," and I was like,
Oh god.
and
That's what I'm oh dear, this is gonna be controversial for a different reason.
and it's funny how when you tell people, you're like, if you look into the series for 5 minutes and realize that it was
Mhm.
actually inspired by Obama's use of drones in the Middle East, suddenly everybody's
Oh man.
like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, Yeah, like
Yeah.
like it wasn't anti one thing or the other, and even when you read the book, it just is making this point that, you know what? Like, even a great society, if it's pressed into the right corners, can do awful things, you know? and
Yeah.
and that when people are pushed into awful corners, they can do good things and they can rise above or find honor even in things. Like, it's, yeah, I think people just kind of write, like, people hear the synopsis and they kind of write it off thinking that it's somehow this statement about one thing or another. But yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how people respond to this. I'm
I'm
hoping.
not
Yeah.
even sure how you could get to this conclusion just from the synopsis. I mean, I haven't read it, and I
Considering what
wouldn't
kind
have.
of
And
it's just part of our culture, I guess. People just go, it's is it really just this?
I mean, it's a war novel,
They just
so
assume
it's not
they
like
usually just
it's
assume
the
things,
first one.
and it's kind of like how it was for some reason bottom tier character Tomozaki's anime got controversial for some for reasons that feel questionable. Where you just look for the series for like more than 5 minutes and you realize the series isn't like that.
Yeah, it should have aired last season.
Man, then that would have been
Because
a lot.
yeah, because redo of a healer erase everything.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the problem is that people we used to do the whole, like, at least give it 3 episodes before you
Mhm.
talked about anime and got, like,
Oh yes, I remember those days.
yeah,
It's kind of sad.
and
It's kind of sad. Many people don't do this anymore.
no, it's like everybody's like, they watch an episode and that's it. They make their opinion, they make a snap judgment, and
Yeah, but sometimes they don't even watch it. They
that's
just
true.
go
I know.
about like thing they heard, or even the wiki, or even just the synopsis, and the,
It's
like
annoying
I
when you
knew
get for those kind of
So,
people.
for
Like,
me,
I knew
I still live
someone-
in those times because personally, I'm not on Twitter, so all this goes past me by default, and I don't usually check Mal or similar
I
sites.
usually don't check all. Sometimes I learn these things through another Discord server or whatever, and I
Yeah.
just have to go.
Yeah.
So I have 2 YouTube channels who do anime reviews that I follow regularly, and both of them wait at least 3 episodes before they make a video.
Well, that's good, because honestly, I think that's
Uh-huh.
kind of the problem with fandom in general now, and it's not even just anime. It's just almost everything, like, so many opinions are being formulated by these so-called, like, social influencers that often will make a snap decision or will do something on purpose because they know that it'll get clicks, and
Yeah.
it really influences how a lot of people think about things. And it's I don't know, man, it's
Well,
scary.
It's not even fandom.
It's
just
pretty
like
sad. It's pretty
people
sad when you
see-
think about it.
Yeah.
And many people just rely on one person for everything and not just really deciding it for themselves.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, it's it came about with social media like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. Like people just post on the moment what they think, and like it's not even a reflective thought. Like it just
They don't
on the
even
moment.
think before they post what they think.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even think of the repercussion that their comment is going to have. Like they just want to talk about it on the moment. Like it's like I don't see it as being bad, but what is bad is the reaction to these comments.
Hey,
like,
I just had a brain fart here. That's what it was.
Yeah, but
Ouch.
You know what? People have made whole careers out of posting their brain farts, Mirage.
yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate.
Honestly, if you're fenced against 86 out there, at least give it a shot.
Yeah.
Who knows? You might like it, unless you're not a huge fan of series where people die.
Yeah,
Don't read this.
That's the main reason.
Yeah.
I don't have problems with war series. I like Altina and I like Quest of the Stars, but I don't like it when they set up main characters only to die 2 chapters later.
Yeah.
The series doesn't really do that since it's more like the ones that kind of die are just like we barely know anything about them, so you weren't feeling too bad for them.
Yeah.
It's just that I have so many series that I didn't want to start one that I might not enjoy.
Oh no, I mean, hey, it's not going to be for everybody. That's,
Yeah, true.
No, but from the look of it, those that liked Attack on Titan might like this one.
Yeah, I would say definitely. I would say that could be a decent comparison in terms of the vibe.
Yeah, and Attack on Titan is also one I avoided.
Well, there you go.
Honestly, I've avoided that because the more spoilers you hear over the years, you're just going, is he even worth it at this point?
No.
Okay.
No, I honestly don't know. I got to one part in the manga and I was just like, okay, I'm out. I mean, you know what? That's a personal thing. I don't expect anybody else to follow my lead. But
same thing. Like I went to a certain part, and after that, like I just stopped because it didn't pick up my interest. A lot of my friends told me, "Yeah, you should continue. It picks up like after the next arc." But
I don't know.
Yeah,
but then you wonder, is it really worth it?
Right. Well, that's it, right? Like when there's so much else out there now that's so good.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. So all right. So that's all the anime coming out in spring of 2021 based on light novels, both those that we have licensed and those that we don't. Although
I feel like if we ever do the summer season, we probably have to be very prepared.
Oh, why? What's in the summer season?
Well, you have things like Realist Hero. We have to talk about one work by the redo of an healer. Opera.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well,
we don't have to talk about
Well,
it.
I mean,
we. It's like
people
the
will
one
talk about
in
it
the
regardless.
Room. We have to kind of remind ourselves that Empress did.
Yeah, let's not talk about the summer season right now because then we won't have anything to talk about.
We have like 3 months. Before then.
Oh, we'll
be fine.
I think I'm
just curious about what's coming in summer.
Yeah, well, we're gonna. You know what? I think this is a good podcast to do. I think we're gonna kind of make this a regular thing every 3 months that we can talk about what's coming out because there's more and more light novels coming out as anime. And let's be honest. I just listed 4 or 5 that are coming out as anime that are not yet licensed in English. I lay you odds within the next 6 months is at least half of them will be. So it's a kind of a little preview into what could possibly be getting licensed in the next 6 months too, right? So it's worth
I'm
checking out.
honestly wondering if one of the unlicensed titles will ever get licensed here during the season or whatever.
Yeah, like not, you know what? I find that with the licenses, it either seems to happen like 3 months before the anime gets announced
Uh-huh.
or like 3
Yeah.
months after the anime ends.
Or probably later.
Yeah, or sometimes, yes, considerably later. We'll see. But yeah, so who knows? But
Yeah, like I would see Tentai book picking up the childhood
oh, yeah.
friend one.
I would love Tensei books to pick up more stuff.
Yeah.
This childhood friend thing feels like up their alley.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah,
totally up
yeah,
Alex's
definitely.
alley.
Hopefully if they allowed it.
Yeah, no, it's totally up Alex's alley. I could totally see him picking that one up. So,
Mhm.
yeah, you never know. All right. So, well, Full Metal, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you had fun on your first one, and we'll talk to you
Yeah,
lots
honestly, this is actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
more. Well, that's because you're with the really good podcast members.
True. It feels so bizarre following this podcast from the start, and well, here I am.
Well,
Yes.
we're happy to have you. So welcome aboard, and we'll talk to you in future episodes as well. And Jean-Luc and
course.
Mirage, thank you for joining me, and thank you guys for carrying on the podcast while I put my feet up and ignored the world for a month. And yeah. All right, and
It's a pleasure for you to be back now.
yeah. Feeling a little more rejuvenated, refreshed, and ready to take on the world. Anyway, and to you, dear listeners, thank you so much for checking out another episode, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye for now. For show notes and related links, visit lightnovelpodcast.com.